review for the final. Part 6, greetings scholars. Okay, I'm going to draw a circle for you. And what I want you to do is I want you to think about how many degrees are in a circle. I want you to think about how many radians are in a circle. Right? And I'm hoping that everybody remembers, oh yeah, this is basic. There are blank degrees in a circle. How many degrees in a circle? Okay. Second question. How many radians are in a circle? Okay. So you've answered the question, how many degrees are in a circle and how many radians are in a circle, right? We know there's 360 degrees. And then we know that there are 2 pi radians. All right, if I told you that there was a little kid sitting on a merry-go-round, here's a little kid, yay! And that little kid goes on the merry-go-round and it goes around this way, and he returns back to where he started in 13 seconds. So your little kid makes one full turn. Maybe I'll even say cycle. Okay, in 13 seconds. Can you please tell me the angular velocity in radians? Okay, my hint to you is that you do not need to know the radius in order to find the angular velocity in radians. You do not need to know that. Okay, go ahead. At this point, answer the question. If you were unclear on how to solve, let me jog your memory. You know that velocity is always a unit of distance over time, right? Okay, or often we'll say x over t. Well, this time, instead of having a distance, we're actually using what? Angles per second. So we're going to do degrees per second. I'll say a number degree. Or we're doing radians per second. Well, I just asked you in radians. Okay? So all you have to do is you take your radians, 2 pi. Move that up. So it is 2 pi radians for every, 13 seconds. Okay, go ahead, calculate, and put your answer in, please. And your final answer should be 0.48 radians per second. Okay, now, what if I tell you that you have a clock, and the clock, let's pretend like the hour hand is not working correctly. So your clock is kind of broken. And imagine that this right here is the minute hand. So my question to you is, what is the angular velocity of the minute hand on your clock? In fact, let me back up a little bit. Let me go ahead and ask you this. What is the angular velocity of your seconds hand? Okay, what is the angular velocity of the seconds hand? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it. I'm going to give you a multiple choice question, but I challenge you to actually calculate this. The reason is because it is directly relevant to your test. So take this time and you will see the question now. So imagine this is my, seconds hand. It's usually much lighter color, and it's going and it's ticking around my clock. Once it gets all the way around, how many radians is that? Well, we know that it is what? 2 pi radians. And how many seconds does it take to get all the way around the clock? It takes 60 seconds. Yay. So if you calculate that, you could just say it's pi over 30, right? Pi over 30, and then your unit is radians per second. And if you are, super high achiever, you could go ahead and even calculate it. Ends up being 0.105 radians per second. That would be your final answer. Okay, so what if I asked you another question? This question is, what is the angular velocity of the hour hand? Now I'm going to put this multiple choice question, and I really challenge you to answer this correctly. Again, this is directly relevant to your exam. Okay, for the hour hand, I know that if my hour hand is working properly, how many times a day does it go all the way around? Well, it's 12 twice in a day. So I know that my hour hand takes a long time to go all the way around. So my hour hand will complete 2 pi in how long? Well, it takes 12 hours. Go ahead and try to calculate this right now, please. This is also important that you understand how to turn this to seconds. I'm going to show you the answer in just 5 seconds, okay? All right, a little dimensional analysis. 2 pi over 12 hours. Okay, you can think of it as a long railroad track if you like. Remember that 1 hour has 60 minutes. Okay, and remember that 1 minute has 60 seconds. So if you type that in there, what your final answer will be is 2 pi, okay, over 43,200. Or I could reduce it a little bit, right? I'm going to get pi over 21600 seconds. That's my answer. My final question to you is, could you do this problem if I gave you the minute hand? And that is my gift to you.